have a shot of the podium. It's a rainy Monday morning here. That podium's where Hillary Clinton will address the media minutes from now. That's the White Plains Airport outside of New York City. That's where she begins a lot of her travel out of Chappaqua, New York. So you'll see that live when it begins. Meanwhile, Donald Trump using this weekend's string of attacks and explosions to go after Clinton and in turn President Obama by saying this. Under the leadership of Obama and Clinton, Americans have experienced more attacks at homes than victories abroad. Time to change the playbook. Katie Pavlich, townhall.com news editor and a Fox News contributor. Marianne Marsh, former senior advisor to John Kerry. And ladies, good morning to you. Serious time here.
Good morning,
7
Bill.
days before debate number one, and now a significant national security issue. Katie, start about changing the playbook. How far does that go?
Well, you have to keep in mind that Hillary Clinton is part of Barack Obama's foreign policy for the past 8 years, definitely for the second half of his term as Secretary of State. Let's not forget that in 2012, the Obama administration lied to the American voter when they said that al-Qaeda was on the run. They've significantly downplayed the threat from ISIS, not just in Syria and Iraq and in Europe, but in the United States by having intelligence reports scrubbed to paint a rosier picture so that the American people maybe felt like there wasn't so much of a threat. Yesterday, Hillary Clinton issued a statement saying the apparent terrorist attacks in New Jersey and New York. Why are we now still not calling the enemy what it is and just saying what we're dealing with? And I think the American people are looking at this and going, how many times do you have to go through this before people who've worked for President Obama, including Hillary Clinton, who wants to maintain his third term, essentially, going to actually call the enemy what it is so we can handle it here at home? Very serious stuff here. Marianne, go.
Sure. Look at the latest Fox poll, where voters overwhelmingly see Hillary Clinton more qualified to be president, 61% to 45%. They see her as having the better temperament than Donald Trump, 59% to 38%. And you can see why in this very incident. She waited for the facts. She continues to wait for the facts as they unfold, as we've seen even this morning. And she has the measured response. Donald Trump, no facts and stoking fear. So do you want to give our enemy what they want? They want us to run around fearful, cowering in corners? Or do you want to go about your business like everyone in New York City did? Like the measured response by the mayor of New York, the FBI, the New York Police Department, the New York Fire Department, even the head of the FBI in Minnesota. That's what we're all about. We're not going to give in to the terrorists, and that's what's going on here. That's what Donald Trump is trying to fuel.
You don't know how voters react to this, to both of you ladies, whether it's Brexit or whether it's the vote in Berlin over the weekend where Angela Merkel was given a stunning defeat, the likes of which we have not seen since the end of the Second World War in Germany. I mean, this is resounding stuff, and now we're about to get a measure, Katie, in 50 days about how the American people feel about watching this and whether or not we can end it.
Look, I mean, you look at the situation here in the sense of what you just mentioned with Berlin. We saw Brexit. That was an issue, especially in Germany, of letting in people who are unvetted from terrorism hotspots. President Obama wants 100,000 more refugees to come into the country unvetted from terrorism hotspots all over the world. Hillary Clinton has the same policy. And here we are over the weekend with someone who was born in Somalia, who is here in the United States, someone from Afghanistan who is now a suspect, and no talk about how we're going to prevent that except for from Donald Trump. And Bill, one thing I think that both of the candidates are lacking here and the U.S. government in general, we have a see something, say something policy, but what about how to respond when these things happen? We saw an off-duty police officer shoot and kill the Somali terrorist who was stabbing people in a Minnesota mall. How are they going to prepare Americans to deal with these threats when they happen in their backyard? Because the police and the FBI can't be everywhere, unfortunately.
It's a very interesting argument about changing the playbook. Marianne, where are you on that? Go.
Well, if you're talking about the election, which we all are, and you're right, 50 days to go, you need to know one thing. The Trump supporters are going to love how Donald Trump responded to this. The Clinton supporters will support her. But the last group of voters who are up for grabs are white college-educated women, period. Donald Trump is losing with them overwhelmingly and can't win the White House without them. White college-educated women would far prefer the response by Hillary Clinton, a measured, thoughtful, based on facts response to this with somebody who's been dealing with this now for 8 years versus Donald Trump, shoot from the hip, no facts, fueling fear.
Stand by. Hillary Clinton should be out any moment, and Donald Trump has made his statement clear. Change the playbook. We'll see how people react. Katie, thank you. Marianne, thanks to you as
Thanks,
well.
Bill.
We have just received word that we have brand new pictures now of the suspect in the manhunt, Ahmed Khan Rahami. These are some more images of him as police